Hey, it's Alice. Happy to be with you today for our chair yoga practice. For today, we'll mostly be staying, I think I will be staying in the chair, I think, for our whole practice today. For props, you might want a little cushion for your chair or a thin blanket. I've just got this. And if you don't have that, no problem. I'll offer a couple of options for you. So as we get started, I invite you, as always, to set a space for your practice today, turning off notifications, shutting the door, creating this little space for your practice today for the next half hour or so. So take your time, get settled, get any props. If you need something to support your feet to bring the ground a little closer, grab that now as well. And then let's meet in a seat. And to begin, I'd like for us to sit a little bit towards the front of our chairs so that our feet are flat and your back is away from the back of the chair. If sitting this way is just really uncomfortable for you, that's okay. Sit back in the chair. But I like to experiment with a bit more of an active experience sitting upright here in our seat. So get yourself situated, feel both feet flat on the floor, any distance apart that feels comfortable for you. Allow your hands to land where they land. And I invite you to either close the eyes or soften the gaze fixed at a point in front of you. And if you're focusing at a point in front of you, pick a location that doesn't require you to strain your neck anywhere. Just find that neutral expression through the cervical spine. And we're going to take several breaths here, simply paying attention. So we'll begin by sensing your breath as it is right now, not worrying about changing or micromanaging it, but noticing the texture of your breath, the rhythm and pace of it. Is it traveling through your nose or your mouth, or maybe both? Perhaps noticing if you can feel expansion and contraction in your body, or other sensations that might indicate the movement of your breath. So you might feel it in your nostrils or the back of your throat. I invite you to begin to deepen your breath. Whatever that looks like for you. Again, the breath can move in and out through the nose, or you can travel using the mouth. But whichever variation, allow the breath to get a little bit fuller, a little bit wider. And perhaps you can feel more physical sensations of your breath now that it's deeper. Can you feel the ribs expanding forward and back and side to side underneath the armpits? A few more breaths. Another sensation perhaps you feel is your belly moving in and out. And you might even feel the waistband of your pants against your belly. And this is just another little bit of physical input that brings us back to this moment. Observe the sensation of your hip bones on your seat. Can you notice any sensation of breath down into the pelvis? And that might sound curious, but the musculature in our pelvic floor is an important part of our breath. So it's moving just as our diaphragm and the abdomen moves. Maybe you can feel that. Maybe you can feel a real subtle shift of the body weight with your inhales and your exhales. Let's take 5 more breaths. Being curious observers of our bodies. Two more breaths as you are. Good. Blink your eyes open if they're closed. And I want you to lift your arms in front of you. And notice how your body weight maybe had to shift to do that. And let's turn the palms forward, and then we'll turn them down. And we're just going to go back and forth like that, moving through the wrist joint. So palms face forward and then palms face back. Good. Do this a few more times. See if you can relax your shoulders as much as you can. They're going to be doing a little bit of work to lift the arms up, but no extra work. All right, arms come out, and then we're just going to go side to side, rotate through the wrist joint. And you can perhaps even visualize the two arms in your forearm, or the two bones in your forearms, crossing one another as you rotate through the wrist. Good. Shake out the hands, let it go. All right, let's take our arms up again and then out to the sides and let the palms face forward. Spread your fingers wide and then relax your hands. So feel the difference between spreading your fingers wide and relaxing them. Do that a couple more times. Notice the sensation in your forearms. And then pause, fingers outstretched, palms are active, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift your chest up. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, bring your arms forward, palms come towards one another, they might touch, and round the upper back. Do this a few more times. Inhale, lift up, expand the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, bring the palms to touch. All right, 3 more. Keep the hands active, keep the wrists neutral. So this movement gets isolated into the shoulder blades, and upper back. Good. Next time you come forward, palms are touching. I want you to cross the wrists so the palms are touching, thumbs point down, and then interlace your hands. Good. Now draw your knuckles towards your chest and then maybe up towards your chin. They might not make it here. You might just be here. And then we're going to go back and forth between your fullest expression of the knuckles reaching forward and then wrapping them back and reaching them up towards your chin. Let's do 3 more like that. And see if you can really find that end range of motion of each side. Good. Next time your arms reach forward, switch the cross of your wrists and then do it again 5 times. Knuckles reach up towards your chin, knuckles reach forward. Good. Twice more. All right, palms come forward, release the hands, shake out the shoulders. Good. Let's take the arms along the sides. Heavy the arms. And then on your next inhale, squeeze the shoulders up towards your earlobes. Hold the breath. And then with a thud, release your shoulders down and exhale. All right, we're gonna do that a few more times. Breath in, breath out. Keep going. And you can decide what pace to go. You can take it pretty quick, or if moving slowly would feel better for you, that's fine too. Twice more. Good, release it out. Let's lean a little forward. Take your feet a little bit wider and bring your hands to your knees. Good, so we should maybe be feeling a little bit of heat in the upper body, chest and shoulders. Let's move through some cat-cow. Draw the chest forward, lift the chin, and reach your tailbone behind you. And then as you exhale, round in. Tailbone points down towards the seat of your chair, chin rolls into your throat. Let's do this several more times. So full spinal extension all the way from the base of the skull to the tip of your tailbone, and then full flexion, rounding in. Keep going. And coordinate this movement with your breath. Let's do this 2 more times. Good. I might have done 3. All right, come upright. Okay, we're gonna move through a sun salutation, a variation here for a bit, and then we'll move into some bigger shapes. So staying seated a little forward in your chair, both feet are flat, press your feet into the ground. So feel that little lighting up of your legs as you press your feet down. Lift your arms overhead. And if overhead is a little much, they can be a little bit forward. So find what's feeling good in your shoulders today. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, reach your arms forward, palms face forward. Inhale here. Keep pressing through your feet. And then as you exhale, bring the thumb knuckles towards your rib cage as you send the chest forward. Good. Arms come up. Palms face forward. Thumb knuckles to your rib cage, chest reaches forward. And then arms up. All right, do that a few more times. Arms reach forward, and then chest reaches forward. Arms up, neutralize the spine. Arms reach, thumbs to ribs, arms up. Good, keep going. Coordinate this with your breath in a way that feels intuitive to you. Keep pressing through your feet, just like you were standing on the ground rather than sitting. Press your feet into the floor. Good. Twice more through this whole round of shape. Good, and then release your hands down. All right, so I'm feeling pretty warm in the upper body. Let's warm up a bit through the lower body. So keeping your hips forward in the chair, I want you to lean your shoulders. Now we're just lounging. Lean your shoulders into the chair, and then lengthen your legs forward. Okay, so we could just be chilling here, but what I'm going to invite you to do is lift one leg, and then lift the other leg. And if you have your hands on your belly, you can feel the belly button press down towards your spine to help you lift the legs. Good. Okay, so you can stay with these alternate leg lifts, or maybe both legs lift. And then we stay here, legs lifted, and we breathe. If you want a little bit more support, legs can be lifted, but hands can come to the backs of your thighs. Good. All right, so we're in a seated boat pose. You can adjust the intensity by how high you lift your legs. Keep the chest lifting up, so rather than rounding in, chest reaches up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. Stay with it. One more inhale. And release your feet down. Shift a little bit forward. Good. All right, shake it out. Excellent. Stay shifted forward. Lean your hands down, grab your right knee and pull it up into your chest. And then see if rather than rounding, you can find an energetic lift up through the crown of your head. Bring your left hand to the front of your right knee and reach your right arm behind you. We'll pause here in this twist for a few breaths. See if on the inhales you can extend the crown of the head a little taller. And perhaps on the exhales, you use the abdominal muscles to deepen the twist. One more breath. Good. We'll switch sides. So bring both hands down to your left knee and then shift up to lift the knee. Take a good grip with your right hand and then sweep the left arm behind you. It can come anywhere behind you. It can reach long. It can find your back hip or hook your elbow or hand onto the chair. Again, finding length as you breathe in and a squeeze and a twist as you breathe out. Any direction of gaze with your head that feels good in the neck. It can stay neutral or it can turn towards the back thumb. One more inhale. One more exhale, release. Good. All right. So feeling a little warm. Let's do one more little hip opener, and then we're going to get into the big shapes. So let's find figure 4 to start. Pick a foot, cross the ankle above the knee. We're making a figure 4 shape. And then we can stay just like this. Or you might start to hinge forward. And when I say hinge forward, I mean think of an energy of length through the spine rather than a rounding. There's nothing wrong with rounding, but in this shape, if we're looking for that stretch in the outer hip, Keeping a length through the lower back is going to intensify that stretch. Keep breathing here. One more breath. Good. Simple. Switch. Cross the other leg on top. Ankle at the knee. Find your hip bones on the chair. And then stay just like this or hinge forward any amount. And this outer knee is heavy towards the floor. You can even use your hand to press it down if that would help. Looking for some good sensation in the outer hip and perhaps even in the inner hip here, just depending on your body. 2 more breaths. Good. Walk the hands in, release the foot. Okay, so we're going to come into Warrior 2. And I'm going to show you 2 options. So option 1 is one you might be familiar with from doing this practice with me before. And that's simply making your legs a 90-degree angle. And we're going to start with our right leg off the side of the chair. Arms are wide, chest in more or less in line with that back femur. So this is great. Option 2 is going to be a little bit more intense in terms of the inner thigh and hip stuff. And so this is where a blanket or pillow might be useful. So I'm going to show you, and then you're going to pick what feels good for you, and we're going to be in it for a little bit. So pick what's sustainable. So the next option is that you straddle the chair and find Warrior 2. So this looks a little bit more like our standing Warrior 2. And for your cushion, I'm going to take one right here between my inner thigh and the edge of my chair. Another option, if this is a lot in your inner thighs, is to grab a pillow and elevate your hips a bit. This feels pretty good. It supports the groin and the hips. Actually, I might do this today. This feels good. And if your feet don't quite come flat on the floor, go ahead and put blocks underneath them. So there's a lot of setup here, but we're going to be in this shape for a little while. So I want you to find your version. Either this version, hips on the chair, legs wide off either side. Right leg is bent, toes are pointing more or less to the right, and left leg is more or less straight, toes pointing forward. The other option, of course, is to bring that left leg off the front of the chair and just find this 90 degrees. So either option is fine. If you haven't tried this one, I encourage you to. Okay, so now let's feel our hands at our hips, and let's see if we can get the tailbone to reach down towards the seat of the chair rather than tipping forward. So see if you can point the tailbone down, bringing the pelvis a little bit more to neutral. Now, when you did that, did this front right knee start to cave in? Can you press through the outer edge of that right foot to pull the right knee back and feel the lift of the arch on your right foot? Now I want you to press down through your left foot, the back long leg, so that the arch of that foot is also lifted. So we're here in the chair, but there's a lot of energy happening in the legs. Retain that. Lift your arms out. Virabhadrasana 2. Warrior 2. Let's pause here and feel how the changing breath, can we feel that in our hips now? Can we keep breathing as we press down through our legs? And as we sit here, if you feel like, boy, I want a little bit more cushion underneath me, take it. Okay, drop your left hand so it finds the outer left leg, and then start to walk the left fingertips down the leg as you sweep the right arm up beside the ear for a peaceful warrior variation. This left hand can go down any amount, or it might come to your hip. Now, as we're leaning to the left, can you keep pressing through your right leg? Breathe wide into the ribs on the right side of your body. And then we're going to tip forward and bring the right forearm to the right thigh. And then let's take that left arm beside the ear. If up beside the ear isn't feeling great in your shoulders today, you can do left hand to your hip. Now, so with our weight shifted to the right, can you really press into your left foot more? Okay, now reach your tailbone down, hug your belly button in, reach your right arm underneath the ear. Good, stay with the breath. One more inhale, warrior two. Good, we're gonna move through that series twice more. Peaceful warrior, walk the left fingertips down, sweep the right arm high. Parsvakonasana, right forearm to thigh, left arm sweeps beside the ear. Just one inhale, right arm underneath, warrior two. Once more through on your own. Peaceful warrior, with your breath, side angle. Reach that bottom arm under, and then warrior two. Breath in to breath out, both feet press down, warrior two. Good, release your hands down. We're gonna switch the legs, but let's pause in center. So gracelessly bring your legs forward. You might shake them out a bit, you might stomp the feet a bit. Now remember, you can do that whole series with the other leg variation. So when we transition to the other side, if that feels like a better fit for you, that's fine. And don't feel like just because you did one thing on one side, you need to do it the same way on the other side. Okay, when you feel ready, when you've shaken out your legs, we're going to take this shape to the other side. Again, either taking this 90-degree angle, or it'll be left leg bent, right leg more or less straight. Left toes point more or less to the left. Right toes point more or less forward towards me. All right. Now, bringing your hands to your hips, can you wrap the tailbone down towards the floor? So my tendency in my body is to want to send the tailbone back. So see if you can press the tailbone down. Good. Can you press through the entire left foot, especially the pinky toe edge, so that the left knee tracks out and the inner arch of the foot is lifted? Okay, keep pressing there. Press down through your right foot, especially the pinky toe edge, so that the arch is lifted. Let's take the arms out wide, Virabhadrasana 2. And always with arms wide, elbows can be soft to bring a little ease to the shoulders. Or if it's not a good fit for you, hands come to your hips. You are always in charge and invited to customize these shapes for your body. I'm just going to offer some suggestions and you make it work for you. Okay. Let's drop the right hand down to the right leg. Start to walk the fingertips down the leg. Sweep the left arm up beside the ear. Okay, here, can you press down through your left foot, the bent leg? Still keep that activity in the left leg. Now we're going to sweep forward into side angle lunge, Parsvakonasana. Forearm comes to the thigh and then top arm to hip, or reaches up and beside the ear. And as we're leaning over to the left, can you press down through your right foot? Now, press your tailbone down towards the ground, hug your belly button in. Left arm underneath the right. We're going to stay here for 2 full cycles of breath. Warrior 2. All right, so we're going to move through that a little bit quicker. 1 breath, 1 movement. Peaceful warrior. Side angle lunge. Start with the forearm on the thigh. And then bring bottom arm under. Warrior 2. Once more. Up and back. Side angle. Forearm underneath. Warrior 2. Good. Release it all out. Let's bring the legs forward. I'm going to scoot this cushion off to the side. And then let's actually bring our feet close together. So a little bit of an opposite shape here. And then bring your hands forward onto your thighs, lean forward. We're going to turn this into a twist. So let's take the left hand to your outer right knee. And then right hand is going to find the back of your chair. And see if you can keep squeezing the thighs together. So it's an opposing energy to what we were just doing in that warrior series. One more breath. And then unwind, come forward, keep the thighs together, and switch. Right hand to your outer left knee, or it can be up here on the thigh. And then left hand's going to reach back, find the back of your chair, and twist and breathe. Keep your thighs squeezing towards one another. Untwist. And then come to sit back in your chair. Bring your feet any width that feels comfortable, and you can sit back so that your hips are against the back of your chair for a little bit more comfort. We're going to sit here in breath for just a couple of minutes to close out our practice. So get the wiggles out, get the shakes out so that we can be still. Let's turn our palms up towards the ceiling. And what we're going to do is a counted breath. And it's called box breathing. We've done it before in this class. You'll do a 4-count inhale, a 4-count hold, full, a 4-count exhale, and then a 4-count hold empty before breathing in again. So 4, 4, 4, 4. In, hold, out, hold. I'm going to count out loud maybe the first couple of times, and then I want you to count on your own. And a tool that I invite you to use, if it seems good to you, is your hands. So with your hands resting face up, you can tap your thumb to your fingers as you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So you can use one hand or both. If that's just going to confuse you, don't worry about it, just count in your head. I sometimes like using this tactile cue for counting because it helps my mind focus when it's feeling a little bit distracted. So I'm going to use that today. So let's sit tall, close or soften the eyes. I'm going to guide you through the first 2 rounds of breath, and then you're going to take it on your own, counting with your finger or just counting in your head. Let's take a clearing breath together. So breathe in. Big exhale. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. Adjust the pace as you need to suit your body. We'll do this for about a minute and a half. And then I'll guide you out. About 30 more seconds. Finish your last round of breath. No rush. And then allow your breath to return to its natural pace. Notice any shift, if at all. It's okay if not. Let's press our hands together in front of the chest. Eyes can be open or closed. I invite you to bow your forehead down towards your fingertips and take a moment here to consider something you're grateful for right now. Something big or small. First thing that comes to mind. And we'll seal in this feeling of gratitude with just a big clearing breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you. All right, as always, I appreciate you making time, carving out time for yourself and for your practice today. I'll be back next Friday, and I look forward to practicing with you again. Thank you.